Welcome back, LinkedIn. Here we're looking at the iPad Pro, the new LiDAR sensor, and it is amazing. I love it. I love depth cameras and all its glory. But what I want to show you guys here first is just a bunch of different cameras I have, all different setup here. I have the Azure, I have the Z2, the Z1, the Intel 4, it looks like we got the 415 there. I also have the occipital structure core, the Mark II, and we have some other stuff here, the Orbic 3D series systems and the old Connect V2. But what I want to show you guys here is right here, the Intel L515. Look how small that is. It's just a small tennis ball of a system. It's very, very small. But I want to show you guys the side pieces and underneath here. So actually the USB connector is actually on the side here. You can see it. And very, very small form factor. It's beautiful. But let's look at the iPad system now. So what we want to do here is with the iPad system is generate a wireframe or a point cloud. And let's do a comparison. Looking back at the old iPad 3 with that occipital structure Mark I that we had. So you had to buy an additional $600 sensor just to get a 3D type of configuration capability on an iPad. Now it comes fully configured again. So you have that infrared flood emitter on the front of the iPad Pro putting out 60,000 points. But look at the sparseness of this point cloud. That's about the difference of points between the light imaging detection and ranging algorithm. Just like the coded light system like in an SR3 or 5 where it's changing, this is staying static even though it's a solid state system. But let's generate a wireframe for 3D so you guys can see this in real time. Fantastic. So let's go up and over. We're actually going to measure a bunch of different stuff here, all my different systems. Oh, look at that. It's so beautiful. It goes very, very fast. And again, this goes out about 6 meters. So versus the L515, that's at 9 meters. And the Z is about 0.48 on this versus 0.25 on the L515. But look at that. Let's take a look at some of the different visualizations here that you can see on the system. This is like the point cloud, which is what you saw before. This is more of a grid-based system, which is what we see in the HoloLens type system. And this is my favorite, obviously, the Tron-based visualization, which is just so beautiful. Looking at these, volumetric captured spaces. But in the future, what they're going to do with ARKit 4 is overlay semantic information, just like the scene under Understanding SDK for the Microsoft HoloLens 2. So it's using the same kind of edge detection algorithm via machine learning, and it's like a neural net, so it's going to teach itself all these different systems, and it's really amazing. So you can output this right out to a PLY file, you can output this to a 3D file, and you can integrate it. There's a lot of different software companies, SiteScape, Jim Selikoff developed an application I have on here as a proof of concept. There's many other applications on the store. I think there's one by Abound. You can also use Canvas by Occipital. That's very good if you're doing a lot of project management or installation type systems. That's going to allow you to do measurements in real time. But let's modify the perspective here as well so you can kind of see the system as I'm scanning it in real time from that third person perspective as it's scanning the whole environment. And again, this is very fast. Minimal latency, very, very quick, and you can come right back to that perspective and modify it out and you should be able to see it again. And the opacity is going to change the darkness and lightness of the scanned image as it overlays. So if you want it a little bit darker, you don't want to see the rest of the background, you can kind of scan that out again and look at how beautiful this is. I mean, such an advancement, not only within this technology, but in portable electronics itself. I mean, I am going to pivot really quick to the AR glasses, which is going to have this sensor in it. So the bigger question is, and I think Robert Scoble and I have a lot of conversations about privacy-related concerns, and I believe that Apple will market the AR glasses as a system without a camera, right? Because it has a LiDAR. You can clearly see that LiDAR is still a camera, and it's not an outlier. It's basically like a misnomer. It's this gray area where they're trying to take advantage of the fact that it may or may not equivocate to a camera per se, but you can definitely not only see everything in your surroundings, but they are using this technology to understand what's in your house. They're going to share these maps. They're going to use QR codes to instantly read semantic understanding in real time. And this is going to be on the Apple glasses. This is going to be on every single spatial computer that we can possibly imagine. It's already on the HoloLens 2 with the Azure V4, that 1 megapixel camera. It's beautiful. I've done many different videos about that in the past. It's definitely something that you need to get used to seeing because it's going to be in every part of our technology and portable phones. And the new iPhone that's coming out this year will probably have an upgraded LiDAR sensor in it, and potentially maybe even an enhanced facial recognition sensor on the front, doing maybe up to 90,000 points. So this is incredible. I wanted you guys to see what this actually looks like. You get a feel for it. Again, there's a lot of free applications out there on the Apple Store that you can use. I've developed some applications. If you need any pointers, if you need any help, reach out to me. I'll freely help you. Thank you guys so much. I hope you enjoyed this today, this volume 21 of my depth camera series. Always reach out to me if you have any questions. I appreciate it. Have a wonderful weekend. Hello again, LinkedIn, and we're back. What you're seeing here is a semantic segmentation and AR kit for on iOS 14.1 for the iPad Pro 12.87, the 4th generation. Look how amazing this is. We had a similar application for the iPhone X and the 11. I think it was Mesa, M-E-I-S-A. Very similar, but what you're seeing here is a human detection algorithm with the AR Kit 4. And I also wanted to just briefly touch on the time of flight sensor, the LiDAR sensor, light imaging detection and ranging system here. I didn't really discuss too much in depth yesterday. It is a Sony time of flight sensor with a 10 micron pitch. It's really incredible. I think it's about 4.18 millimeters by 4.7 millimeters by 18 millimeters altogether. It's really a fascinating, unbelievable development in mobile computing, and you're going to see these types of applications in every single cell phone. You have a front-facing sensor, a time of flight infrared flood emitter, and on the back you have some kind of a LiDAR sensor that can see all of your surroundings, that can generate a 3D map. You can share these maps over a neural network, and hopefully in the future with the eyeglass you'll be sharing maps with certain geographical locations that have previously already been semantically mapped and understood and stored, so you can just upload this via QR code. I really wanted to show you guys this so you can see some of these visualizations. They're really fascinating. So let's jump into object detection. Instead of just scanning the whole room, we want the LiDAR sensor to just look at objects and scan those with a mesh. Thank you so much. Let's jump right in. All right, here we go. So you guys saw previously me scan the entire environment using the LiDAR sensor. Goes out to about 6 meters on this device, fairly accurately with about a 55 millimeter deviation. But what we want to do now is object detect, essentially scan or mesh objects instead of the entire environment. This makes it more computationally efficient, but also makes it, so it understands its environment semantically. Again, you saw the segmentation with humans. Now we want to do the same thing with objects. So let's scan these objects in 3D. Again, boom, 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 boom. We're going to scan everything out. 100%. We'll scan it up, scan it up. Now we're going to save this out to a file. Now what I like to do with these files, you can kind of see here on the bottom right hand side, is there's a bunch of 3D models, USDZ, OBJ, GLTF, GLB, STL. You can upload it directly to Sketchfab. You can do a compatible file with DAE. But I like the USDZ files because you can output this directly to an iPhone and the Apple ecosystem, and they can open and output it right directly to an AR file. So let's go ahead and try that really quick so you guys can see what this means. This is important in the future with the Apple eyeglass, because you got to remember, just maybe a year away or so, we're going to have a lot of these systems that go directly to your eyeglass. So you're going to scan a 3D model in CAD with your engineering, electrical, mechanical, construction project management teams. You're going to send this directly to them. They're going to see exactly what you see in 3D in real time. It is unbelievable. And again, it is the inflection point for the technological paradigm that is now here. The future is already here. It's just not evenly distributed. Thank you guys so much. I hope you enjoyed this. Hope you have a great weekend.